2.8, and by popular request, we are going back to the old way of doing weeklies.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a little bit too, all the spinning and the craziness that we loved, nobody else loved.
Oh well.
Maybe they would have gotten used to it. So this week we're going to talk some more about adding integers.
Ah, okay.
Because we've spent a lot of time in class working on that.
So this is practice?
Yeah. And here's our first example. -7 plus +3. And I really like to use integer chips.
I see a couple up there.
Yeah, they're really, really awesome. So the way we start these out is we start with -7 chips.
So the reds are negative. Each one is -1, yeah.
And now, plus means that I'm adding something to it.
Right.
And I'm gonna add 3 positive. And the positive ones are the black ones.
Okay.
And then I have to figure out what this board now really means. And every time I have a red one and a black one together, they just make 0. This one makes 0.
Because it's a -1 and a +1 added together, right?
So if I consider all these zeros to go away, I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4 red chips, which means my answer is -4.
Nice.
And, you know, integer chips are always on the table, so use them. Or at home, you can draw them out. Or you can use beans or rice, whatever you have at home.
Or you can,
pennies.
if it helps you, you can picture them in your head too.
Yep.
Okay, let's try another one.
All right.
Oh, we got something else here. Number
Well, I
line.
figured some people don't like chips. They would
Okay.
rather work with a number line. So you want to take this one?
Yeah, whichever one works best for you, right?
Absolutely.
All right, so we have +8 plus -5. So I'm going to start by finding the +8 on the number line. Here's 0. So we know the negatives are this way and the positives are down this way. So here's +8. And we're going to add -5 to it. And when you add a negative number, you go in the negative direction down here, right? That's the negative direction and that's the positive direction. So we're going to go 5 in the negative direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and end up at +3.
Very nice. And I can write that as 3 or +3. Either one would be
Right.
acceptable.
Because if you see a number without a sign, you assume there's a positive.
It's
there.
always going to be
Yeah.
positive. Right. This seems really easy.
Yeah,
All right. Let's
I like that.
jump into the third. Ooh. Find the sum of -4 and -9.
Well,
and we have no symbol there.
Ms. Marina, let me help you out a little bit. Just a reminder.
So
plus.
can I rewrite it
Yeah.
like this? Okay. And
So you have both things here. What do you think? What are you going to use?
I think I'm going to go with the number line on this one because it's going to be a lot of chips to draw.
That's
The whole
true.
board will fill up.
That's true.
So if I start, the first number is my starting point. So I'm going to find -4 on the number line. And I think something terrible is going to happen.
I think so too.
So we're adding -9. And you told me when I add a negative, I go to the left.
In the negative direction. I think we better change places too, don't you?
All right.
Because, you know, that number line is heading way over there. You might even have to add on a little bit, Miss Marina.
So we're at negative, I need to move 9 spaces to the left. And I'm at 6, 7, 8, 9. This would be -11, -12, -13. So my answer would be -13. And if this ever happens to you, you run out on your number line, just keep adding on to it. Or make your own number lines.
Goes on forever.
And on every single test that you take in my classroom or even on the New York State test, you can always write yourself a number line. No one will ever say that you can't. So put those number lines on there, use them, they're a great tool. With small numbers, because now we're jumping ahead to example
Yeah.
4, and things are gonna get a little ugly.
That could take a while.
So if we wanted to draw a number line that went all the way to these, I think we would have a little bit of trouble with it.
I think we'd be more likely to get mixed up by a number line with numbers this big, don't you? Miss a spot or something.
So we'll use a different strategy. When I add two negative numbers, there are two things I know. One, I will add them, and two, my answer will be negative.
Because if you can picture the number line in your head, if you started at at negative 34, and then added on negative 23, you'd go even farther
You're
back
going
toward the
further
negative.
to the left, so your number is
Yeah.
going to be even further to the left. So we can just take our numbers, add them together, and then because we started out with two negative numbers, we know that our final answer has to be negative 57.
Good.
Yeah? Let's try another one.
I think that's a good solution with big numbers. Oh my gosh.
So here we have another one.
Talk about big numbers.
Positive 188 plus negative 243. So my strategy is not going to work. We can't add them together and make it negative.
Well, how about this? How about can we picture? I mean, I don't want to count out 188 integer chips,
No, that would be kind of ugly.
nor do I want to count out 243 chips.
We would be here till
But
Sunday.
what if you said to yourself, let's say we had a big pile of chips there were 188 in this pile. And what do we need to make this pile equal to 0 in negative chips? I'm using the wrong colors, aren't I?
So if these were black chips,
Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
and then over here we have a pile of red chips.
Okay. How many do we need in the red chip pile to make, when we combine it with this, to make it equal 0?
So we have more of these, so we're assuming there'll be some of the red ones left over at the end. So we know our answer is going to be negative.
Good point.
And then if we take 188 away from this,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
we'll get the leftovers. So
whoops.
taking away, we're actually going to subtract. So on the side somewhere,
You're going to get a 0 from those, but we still have some left. So what are we going to subtract?
243 minus 188.
Yeah, because we got to figure out what's left after we pull out those 188 red chips.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to have to do a little bit of serious math here. I had to borrow one. 13 minus 8 is 5. Got to borrow again. 13 minus 8 is still 5, and 1 minus 1 is 0. So there are 55 left. So that means our answer is negative 55.
What if it had been the other way around? What if the 188 had been negative and the 243 had been positive? Our answer would still have been 55 because we subtracted
Yeah, because you'd still have to do this step of pulling the 188 out to, but
to match it. But now our answer, the leftovers would be positive. They would be black chips, so we would end up with a positive 55.
yeah, because the bigger pile is the one that's going to have the ones left over.
Nice. Let's
Yeah,
do one
that
more.
is nice. Oh, this is all yours, Miss Marino.
Why, thank you. I'm going to use your strategy, and I'm going to think about, you know what? When we had a negative and a positive, we just subtracted. So I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Find the difference between the two.
Well, yes. Finding the sum means we're actually adding.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
But we're going to find, yeah, I was like looking for the difference.
Sorry.
We're subtracting 432. Oh, I got an easy one.
Yeah, you did.
This one was easy. No borrowing, no nothing.
Jealous.
So now I'm looking at what we just talked about. And when I talk to my students about this, I always think about money.
Uh-huh.
I have $549.
Okay.
I owe my good friend Miss McDonough $432. I have more money than I owe. Therefore, my answer is going to be positive.
Right, because you're still going to have some money left when you pay me back. And that's how much
So
you're going
we
to have
have negative 432 plus positive 549 equals positive 117. So thinking about money and integers
Yeah.
is a great way.
left. Yeah, that is a good way to do it.
Because you can always think about, I have money, I owe money. And every student I've ever talked to I give them an integer problem, they have no clue. I
Yeah.
say, think about money, and they can do it.
It's a little
So
easier.
think about money whenever you think about integers. And that's it for weekly 2.8.
Excellent.
All about adding integers.
Good luck.
And we'll see you next time.